An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Angel Xodist. An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Neknal. An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Nero_stranger. An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Alpha Watertop. An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Mikanak. An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Skies Can't Fall. An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to the_dog breath. An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Gunnigoon. An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Need_food. An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Powder77. Psydere 1 smug.
Hello, hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. What is going on? What am I doing? I don't know. Hello. Well, also, what the heck? Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs, Anonymous. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That was very, very kind and generous of you. Thank you so much. Yes, the hype train was level 4. Success. Thank you so much. What was my emote today? It was a penguin applauding. Very exciting. Hello, everyone. How are you all? I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing good. Who is here today? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Nightmind. Hello. Hello. I can't believe it's Psydere. I know. I know. Shocking. Shocking. Why am I so small? Wait, I'm in the wrong place. There we go. That's better. That's better. Hello. Who else? Who's here? Let's see. Hello, Guns. Hello. How are you? I hope you're good. I hope you're good. Hello, Sine Wave Mood. Hello. 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 Hello, something stochastic. Hello, Hosmod, of course. Yes, yes. Hello, Mylin. How are you? Hello, M0. Good evening. Good evening. Hi, Commodore. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in. Also, Woodsticks. Hello. Thank you for it too. And also M0. Wait, I see the hydrate. Let me hydrate now, because otherwise I will forget. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. I've got water and I've got like decaf tea today because it's late. Well, it's not late, but I listened to Bobo. Bobo was like, you shouldn't be drinking caffeine like late in the evening. And I was like, okay, noted, noted. Because the half-life is 6 hours. So you should not be drinking it like 6 hours before bed. So I listened, and now I've got decaf. There you go. Happy to see there's a stream. I'm a bit sick, but doing well. Oh no, I hope you feel better soon, Woodsticks. I hope you feel better soon. I'm doing good, thank you. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm okay. Today I was adventurous. I did something very out of the ordinary for me today. I went for a run. Wild. I don't normally do very much exercise, I'm not gonna lie, because I have like health conditions that they don't make exercise impossible, they just make it inconvenient. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for a run today. I'm gonna go for a run. And then I went for a run. And then about not even very long, like 20 minutes into my run, I realized that I realized that my hand had been bleeding very heavily for a period of time. And I had like a lot of blood on my hand, and I was like, that's not ideal. So I cut short my run. Yeah. But maybe I'll try again tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe it'll go better. Maybe it'll go better. Far from ideal. Indeed, Rico. Hello, Rico. How are you? I hope you're good. Yes, it was far from ideal. I had to go into like a fast food place and be like, hi, I'm sorry, my hand is bleeding. Do you have plasters? And I was like, this is a bit random, but help. And they did actually. They were very, very helpful. I appreciate that. Shout out to those fast food workers that helped me. What happened to your hand? Does it just spontaneously do that for you? Kind of. I have because of my allergies, I have like permanently quite bad eczema, but like specifically just on my hands. There's nowhere else. It's very annoying. Because you know, it's where you like wash your hands, obviously it gets the most in contact with various allergens throughout the day. So it's always like on my thumbs. No, it wasn't the scratching, Mylin. It wasn't the scratching. I don't know what it is, but like basically when I get eczema, it like swells up. So it this is why if I ever do a hand cam stream, I'm going to be wearing gloves. My hands are ugly. They're the worst part of me. So they just like swell up randomly. And then they did that, and then they like split where the, you know, like the creases on your like your joints, they swell up there, and then they split. The skin splits because they swell up so much, and then yeah, it starts bleeding. But it doesn't normally bleed that much. It was quite horrific. I sent Husbando a picture when it happened, and he was like, what is that?" Yeah, it was kind of wacky. I do have another thing that just makes me bleed more as well. So like when I get like injured or something, I just bleed more than the average person. Yeah. So like a normal person probably would have just like, you know, had a little bit of like a scab on the hand, and then it would have just stopped. But mine doesn't do that, so it just kept going. Yeah. And I think probably because I was running, my theory is that because I was running, like the increased heart rate was just like, it was making it bleed faster than my botting could work. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. I suppose that's the law drop for today. My blood doesn't work in the way that it's meant to. Anyway, I haven't finished saying hello to everybody yet, so I'm going to do that now. Hello, Commodore. Hello, hello. How are you with LaTeX? Oh, I try. I make an attempt. I'm not very good. Hello, Wild Max Plays. Hello, hello. How are you? How are you? Hello, Nero. Hello. Who else is here? Hi, Alex. Hello. Who else? Who else? 6 hours of having espresso. You have half a shot of espresso. I mean, that's how I used to function when I was doing my undergrad, actually. So not far off. Hello, Doc Rect. Who else? Who else? Is this everybody now? Yeah, it definitely was suboptimal. What kind of curse runs through your Victorian blood? It's funny you say that. If you... Okay. Come closer. Come closer. It's a secret. If you know anything about the Victorian monarchy, you're on the right track. Yes. Also, hi, Zendai. Hello. How are you doing? How you doing? I hope you're good. I hope you're good. And hi, Hunter. Hello, hello. How are you? And also, Chirps. Hi. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in. I hope you're good. If you were one part of the neuron, what part would you be? I'd be the axon. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of dendritey though. I feel like I'm kind of dendritey. I like to... Wait, I forget which way around they are. The axon's the one that sends out the signals, right? And the dendrites receive it. Yeah. I feel like I'm a receiver of information. I just absorb it. I'm like walking Wikipedia, but only for the things that I care about. So I've got very selective uptake channels. I don't know if this analogy is working, actually. Oh dear. Oh, the less we talk about the Habsburgs, the better. Oh gosh. Making food? Nice, nice. What are you making? What are you making? I had salad earlier. I don't know what's going on with me. Also, I just realized I've had the same song on repeat. I'm sorry. I had salad earlier. I don't know what's going on with me. I feel like I've had the realization of how old I am, and then I'm like, huh, I should probably start taking care of myself. Is this the wait, no, it can't be a midlife crisis. I think I read that, yeah, midlife crises, based on the data that we have, they're actually a bit of a myth. They don't really happen. But what would the equivalent be? Because I hope I'm not halfway through yet. I hope. Otherwise, yikes. Quarter life crisis? I mean, I think I'm a bit too old for that as well. I don't know. No, I'm definitely too old for that. A third? Maybe a third. A third life crisis. Yeah, that's where we are. Victorian monarchy. I wonder who could be the reigning monarch during that era. It's definitely not self-explanatory or anything. True. True. I meant the British monarchy during Victorian times. But I'm bad at things. Was it actually? Wait. I might be making that up. I might be getting the wrong period of history saying that. Wait, let me... Honestly, just like European monarchies in general. But I don't have the thing that they have. I have something kind of similar. Yeah. If there's any history buffs in the room, you can kind of work it out. Let's see. Let's see. I'm just gonna... Monarch. No. Okay. European royalty. There we go. There we go. This is the one. This specific thing that is not what I have, but is similar, is featured prominently in European royalty. Yes. Queen Victoria passed it on. Yes. See, I wasn't making it up. I wasn't making it up. I wasn't making it up. I knew what I was talking about. Vampire Dairy is real. True, actually. Very, very true. Oh, dear.
Down with the
There you go.
Penrose
Thank
monarchy.
you so much for the resub.
Long live Science Minister Psydere.
Yeah. Science Minister. I'm taking over. I'm taking over. I don't remember where Rin is the monarch of, but I'm taking over. It's a coup. Oh gosh. Oh no. I remember that genetic illness that causes blood to not harden. We had it in biology in the context of family trees. Yeah. What I have is kind of similar, but it's not that. But it's very similar. Very, very similar. Yeah. One day I'll talk about it, but I feel like I need to save it for a special occasion, you know? Although to be fair, what I've said is kind of like the summary of it is just like, I'm doing normal things and then my body is just spontaneously like, okay, time to start bleeding. Oh dear. It does do that. It's quite annoying, actually. It's made me ill sometimes. It's not great. It's fine though. Mostly it's just an annoyance. Do neurons have K and Ni? Wait, do neurons have potassium and sodium ions? Wait, words. But neurons do have potassium and sodium ions. There we go. Got there eventually. Goodness gracious. Do they taste like salty potatoes? This is a very good question, actually. This is a very good question. This is a very good question. Yeah. I do wonder. I've had to dissect a brain before. It was pretty fun. I've dissected a disturbing number of organs, actually. I've dissected a lot of them. Perhaps but slightly concerning. Perhaps I possibly shouldn't. Who knows? It's fun though. I swear it was for science. Thank you for the lab stage register check-in, Duke Duckman and Wild Max Plays. Thank you. Yeah, no, I've had to dissect a lot of stuff. What have I dissected? I'm thinking. I've dissected, you know, the kind of standard stuff that you do in like a human physiology class. So like liver, kidney, heart, you know, the boring ones. I've also done an eyeball. That was kind of fun because when we dissected the eyeball, someone in the class like stabbed into it the wrong way and the lens pinged out of it across the room. It was quite funny. And then there was another time where we dissected a brain and that was also very cool. Yes. I devour my one brain cell every time I'm at work for sustenance. That's such a mood. That's such a mood. Was at least one of these dissections legal? I swear they were all legal. I swear. I swear. I think I've done hearts multiple times actually saying that. But I did like a physiology class, so we had to do dissections so that we could learn the parts. Because like it's one thing looking at a model or a what's the word? You know, like a diagram or something. Like models and diagrams, they're fine. But like it's sometimes quite hard to like translate what you're looking at in a diagram or a model into like the actual soft tissue, you know? So that was the reason why we did that. But they weren't human ones, I should clarify, actually. That's kind of important. I should clarify. They weren't human ones. They were like normally like sheep or something. Oh, sheep or pigs, I think. Yeah. No, they were sheep. They were sheep. They were always sheep. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. Why did I assume human ones? I mean, it's not unheard of. I know a lot of like medical and biology people that go to university and do human dissections. Like, I don't know. I've never done one though. I've never done one. It would be interesting. No, unless. Maybe it would be interesting. Oh dear. As long as you don't use them for decorations. That's true, actually. I once had a biology teacher that used to keep like pickled things in the drawers and cupboards and shelves as decorations. And we'd walk into the class and be like, huh? Huh? Yes, it was certainly interesting one time when I was helping tidy up the lab, and then I found a pickled sheep fetus. That was certainly something. Yeah. Did I mention this was in high school, by the way? Oh no, what kind of school did I go to? As a research participant, I don't know what to make of the fact that Psy has done a lot of dissection. Like I said, they weren't human. They weren't human, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Thank you for the lab safety registry check-in, Potter. I hope you're good. I hope you're good. My brain is remembering countless hours spent learning about how medical schools used to acquire bodies through dubious means. What? That is terrifying. I don't know if I like, ouch. I don't know if I like that. Sorry, I just got the plaster from the aforementioned hand explosion. It's just come off and got stuck on my microphone. Brilliant. Okay. Well, I'll just take that off and hopefully it won't do its thing again. Oh no. Yeah, they did gotta learn on something. Exactly. Also, hi, Casa Bravo. How you doing? I hope you're good. Did you go to Hogwarts? I mean, I'm not denying it's a possibility, you know? Science and magic. It's suspicious. It's suspicious. Oh no. I mean, it was fun. It was fun. We got to do some fun things like that, you know? And then there is the chemistry lab scenario, which I think I've told that story before, and I don't know if I want to repeat it because it got banned, so it got banned from the lab, so we don't talk about that. Hi Drayans, how you doing? How are you doing? I hope you're good. I don't remember what all I've dissected. Yeah, I think I don't entirely remember it either, because I'm pretty sure we did more than that, but I can't remember what. Like, I feel like there was one more organ, but I do not remember what the organ was. Lungs! It was lungs! I've just remembered, because they inflated them in front of us first before we dissected them, and then they were like, look at this, it blows up, and we were like, heh. And then they were like, go and put your hand near it. We had gloves on, obviously, but they were like, put your hand near it, and you could kind of feel the air coming out through the little tiny, what are they called? Alveoli? That was kind of interesting. Yes. I remember there was an episode of The King of Queens where they snuck into a gynecologist's house, and Doug said, he has redacted in jars. And he says, I think those are peaches. Oh no. Oh dear. Yeah, there was nothing that bad, but there were various, like, you know, organs and stuff in jars. It was odd. Also, like, it's weird how many universities have displays of things in formaldehyde. Like, how many biology departments I've been to over the years where you walk in and it's not even like immediately displayed there, but you kind of go in a little bit further and then you just come across a collection of things in formaldehyde. It's like, why? Why do you all have this? What is the learning here? Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Magic is science we don't understand yet. Exactly. I'm just taking a scientific approach. Exactly. Lungs have many fun facts, but most of them will have people look at you concerned for knowing it. That's very true. That's very true. Lungs are really interesting, actually. Very cool. Very cool. I'm good just working for a Springer book. Has any human ever read a Springer book cover to cover? I'm trying to think. I've definitely read an Oxford handbook cover to cover before. Not because I wanted to. Well, actually, I kind of did want to, actually. I kind of did want to, saying that. It was interesting. Yeah. My grandfather's lungs were used to teach medical students. Lung cancer, died before I was born. Yeah, see, now there's so many people. That's very, very cool. Very, very good use of lungs, I think. And it's very, very nice. I think it's a nice way to, like, I don't know, what's the word? Like, not be useful. That's like, it's a nice legacy to have, is education, right? It makes me happy. I would love to have my body donated to medicine, because, like, I originally was like, I'm an organ donor, and then because of the aforementioned blood thing, I'm not actually allowed to donate certain things. So I would love to be like a medical example, but now they get so many people trying to donate that it's like they actually just don't use them. They just kind of promote you instead, which is kind of sad, but you know, it's fine. Hi Rosie, how you doing? How you doing? The formaldehyde tastes good. They need large supply. Rosie, have you been eating things again? I would love to know if you actually knew what it tasted like. I'm just saying I wouldn't put it past you. Not to comment. Oh my gosh, I really hope that you haven't. Oh dear. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in, antisocial vigilante. I hope you're good. I hope you're good. And also, hi Sharon, how you doing? How you doing? Apparently you should never bring a sandwich with tomatoes with you to one of those formaldehyde labs, as the tomatoes soak up the taste of the formaldehyde. Okay, that's interesting. But do they like actually soak up all of the formaldehyde? Like, does it make it dangerous? Is it a dangerous tomato, or is it just the taste of it? Because if it's the taste of it and not the danger of it, then I would low-key actually do that just to see what it tastes like. I'm interested. I had a teacher in my last year of high school who had so much formaldehyde in the room, I and several others had to do the work outside of the classroom from the nausea. We all got, no. I must say, the pickled things in jars was not the most wacky thing that happened in my high school science labs. Yeah, that was not the most wacky thing. The most wacky thing I can't actually say because I think it would actually be doctorable, but I wish I could tell you because it was very funny. Oh no, this is so sad. This is so sad. Aside from that, probably the wackiest thing was actually just me getting banned from the local university's lab for causing a chemical incident. But, you know, it's fine. Don't put me in the chemistry lab, basically. That's the summary. That's the summary. Grinding away at testing data. I swear I'm going to ask one of those high schoolers who wanted to help me with whatever to do this next time. That's the secret of academia. It's a pyramid scheme. You get volunteers to do all of the hard work for you. You just come up with the ideas. Just get the students to do it. Oh no. Terrible. Terrible. One day I hope we'll have rejection-free bioprinted organs. I hope so too. I hope so too. The fact that so many people would donate is kind of good. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. I think it's probably going to go down in the UK and Ireland. I think it's probably going to go down because I think both countries now have like opt-out organ donation, if that makes sense. Like, you are automatically an organ donor. You have to like register to not donate your organs now. Whereas before it was opt-in, so they didn't get enough medical organ donors, but they got too many research organ donations, if that makes sense. But yeah, now it's like opt-out, so everybody is by default an organ donor, so yeah. Yeah. Hi Zakia, how you doing? How you doing? I hope you're good. Never chemical, and Retty's probably tasted it or smelled it. Yeah, I've been getting that impression from, I've been lurking in Retty's streams and I'm definitely getting that impression. Retty, at some point I would love to know like all of the things that you have tasted that you probably shouldn't have tasted, but maybe that's not good for stream. Oh gosh. You just woke up from a nice nap after a long swordsmanship practice and here we are talking about tasting funny chemicals. I love the stream already. Amazing. I hope your practice went well, Bushy. Welcome in. I hope your practice went well. How was it? I hope it was good. I hope it was good. Something I learned recently about lungs is that the fat that we lose from exercising doesn't disappear. It's used and converted into carbon that we breathe out. Yeah-ish, kind of. So when you... Okay, I'm going to do like my very, very basic like first year university level understanding of metabolism now. Which I think, Rico, if you're still here, you might know more about this than me. Please correct me if you need to. My understanding is that basically when you exercise, well, when you do anything, but when you exercise, you burn more energy. So yeah, the rate of like using up the chemicals that are used in creating that energy increases. So what I vaguely remember is that normally you use glucose, and that gets converted into a chemical called ATP, which is the thing that like basically provides energy to your cells, right? But if I remember correctly, once your blood glucose is starting to run a bit low, then your body will start burning muscle, and it will also start burning fat. So it will go for the fat first, because that's easier to break down into sugars. Because if you think about it, all of it is basically just like long chains of carbons, right? Like, you know, carbons and other things too. But they're basically all just long chains of carbon. So if you split fats up, if you split the chemical, if you split the carbon chains up, eventually it will break down into sugars, and then that can then be broken down and used in not respiration. What's it called? What's the thing where it's not respiration? That's when you breathe. I've forgotten what it's called. It's been so long since I've done anything metabolism related. It's been so like probably like more, well, definitely more than 5 years, probably closer to 10. But that's my vague remembering, brilliant. My vague memory. Yes. Yes, fat and muscle. Yes. You became keto-acidotic. Oh my gosh, words. Keto-acidotic. I hope I've said that right. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay, good. I hope I didn't butcher that too badly. Like, big old asterisk here if I'm not a biologist or a medical person, so I might have got something slightly wrong there, but that's my understanding. Ketoacidosis. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, it can be very dangerous, can't it? I knew somebody that had, I think they had type 1 diabetes, if I remember correctly, and they would sometimes become they would go into ketoacidosis. And the thing that I remember is that we could tell that it was happening to them because like their breath started smelling kind of nice, which is a bit of a weird comment, but I don't know how else to describe it. It was kind of like, it kind of smelled like they've been eating like fruity sweets or something. I don't know. But yeah, the fat turns into sugars, turns into ATP, powers the cells, and the rate at which that happens goes faster when you're exercising versus when you're just sat around vibing. Yeah. Fruity breath is a danger sign for us. Yeah, right? Yeah, I remember, because that was like a sign that we were like, okay, we need to give you some chocolate or something. Like you are potentially now in danger zone. Oh gosh. Because of excess sugar, it comes out in their breath. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Not chocolate. They need insulin. Well, yeah, that too, obviously. But I think the person who I was friends with had an insulin pump, so that would be sorted automatically. So they just needed something sugary to like get them out of hypoglycemia, basically. Yeah. But yes, they do also need insulin. Very, very true. Yeah, they had a pump, so I forgot that they needed to do that. Let's see. Something on, oh wait, no. Speaking of tasting things, have you heard of Kopi Loak coffee? Some say it's acquired taste, others say it tastes really bad. Is that the one that I think it is? Yeah, yeah. I've heard of that. I would not eat that or drink it. Not interested. Not because of like inherently like the fact that it's fermented in that way, but specifically because of the fact that it I don't eat things linked to animals, so and it's also just a bit weird to me personally. Yes. Interesting. The sugar also gets transferred along with the CO2 in the breath. Yeah, so that's the bit that I never actually got around to saying, was it? The sugar gets broken down into ATP, which is like an energy like an energy molecule, and then as part of the process that creates the energy in the cells, you also create carbon dioxide as a byproduct, and then that's what gets breathed out. It gets taken away in your blood, and then it gets taken to your lungs, and then it gets breathed out. Yeah. I only told half of it. Yes. I should probably go back and revise my like very, very basic biology knowledge at some point. I feel like I should know more about this. I kind of like, I don't even really entirely remember the process of like how neurons work, to be honest. Like, I know that there's action potential and ions moving, and then it moves up because the sheath and then things. But yeah, I don't really remember very much actually. I should know more. I should know more. It's because I've been PhDing. I just have one thing in my brain now. It's so sad. It's so sad. Hi, Professor Dutchy. How you doing? How you doing? And hello, Mariona. Hi. How are you? How are you? I'm good, thank you. How are you doing? I hope you're good. Let's see. Practice went well. Yesterday they asked me to teach the new people, and I now understand the joy and pressure of teaching a class. Today they're trying to train me to earn my first degree of black belt for the International Martial Arts Federation. Ooh, exciting. They might also move the class schedule so I can start training Tenshin Shoden Katari Shinto style. I hope I said that right. Which we're lucky enough to have an instructor for in that style, which is one of the oldest Japanese martial arts. That's so nice. It sounds like it went really well. Well done. Yeah, teaching is kind of fun. You do get a lot of pressure, but it is also really enjoyable, and it's very, very rewarding. Yeah. Also, I forgot to say, sorry, thank you for the follow, Addictive. Thank you so much. Welcome in. Sorry, I forgot to say it because I was like going off on my tangent about not respiration, the other one. What is it? What's it called? Or is it respiration? No, that's breathing. What is the word? It's annoying me. It's annoying me. What is the word? Okay. Right. I'm on the Wikipedia page for ATP. If one of you know the word for it, tell me it before I get to it on the page. Biochemical functions. Oh, apparently it's used in signaling. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Let's see. Where are we? I love Wikipedia. Does anyone else love going on like really weird random Wikipedia rabbit holes? That's like one of my favorite things to do, I'm not gonna lie. It's very fun. It's very fun. No, it is cellular respiration. Okay. I'm not being silly. It is called cellular respiration. Oh no, the glycolysis. Oh, glycolysis. Oh no, now I'm having flashbacks. No. Not the Krebs cycle. Why did I look at this? Now I'm sad. I love the Krebs cycle. I had a bad time with it when I was at school. I'm lovely. I got in touch with an old college friend from my first semester, so that's been really nice. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. That sounds so nice. Hello, Caesar. How are you doing? And also, hello, Edelweiss. Hello. How are you doing? Gremlin. I'm not that much of a gremlin. I mean, let's be honest, actually, I am kind of a bit of a gremlin, aren't I? How do I rate on the gremlin scale, actually? How much of a gremlin out of 10 would you rate me? Give me a gremlin rating out of 10. I want observer ratings. I'm currently going down the rabbit hole of John Titor. Amazing. I love that. That's just reminded me. We need to... At some point, we should probably finish that associated visual novel. We should finish that at some point. Yeah. We should do that. I'll probably need to restart because it's been like a year since I even started it. So, yeah. I have a folder in my bookmarks for Wikipedia rabbit holes so I can stop myself. That's what I should do. I should just like I should be like more disciplined and allow myself like 3 pages and then I stop. I bookmark it and then I come back to it the next day. But sometimes the drive to learn things just takes over, you know? It just takes over. 6.5, 8, absolute. 8.1. Define gremlin. That's a good, okay, that's actually a good point. Good point, sine wave mood. I don't know. What is a gremlin? I'm gonna Google it. What is a gremlin streamer? A streamer, often a VTuber, who is known for their mischievous and chaotic and sometimes even slightly destructive behavior. What? Hello. Do you think that I'm mischievous, chaotic, and sometimes slightly destructive? Agree with the 6.5 rating? Okay, interesting, interesting. Yeah, I've seen the movie Gremlins. I've seen the movie Gremlins. I think I might have seen Gremlins 2 even. Yeah. If you feed you after midnight, you go into a rage. That's actually unironically true. What have you destroyed recently? My hand, apparently. Oh dear. Psydere is quite destructive, but often not meaning to be. This is true, actually. This is true. I can't deny that. I can't deny that. I'm accidentally, yeah, it's less like actively destructive and more like clumsy, I guess. Rating is pending review after the cooking stream. The rating's going to be waiting for a while because we still can't work out how to actually make that happen. Like, I think it might be technologically impossible at the minute. Unless I find a way to like, no, wait, no, there's not enough. Maybe that's kind of enough. No. Not convinced. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how we can make it work. I think I would need to set, first of all, I need a hand cam set up for a start. And then on top of that, I don't have much space. What's the limitation? Mostly space. Also equipment. I don't have any of the equipment that I would need for a hand cam stream. But then also, I don't have a lot of space on my desk. So I don't know. And I also don't know how I would cook at my desk because I can't take everything over to the kitchen for reasons. So yeah, I don't know. That's true. Retty might be able to help. Oh, don't take my advice. Okay, noted. Yeah, I don't know how I could make it work. Like, especially, I don't know how I could make it work with the VTuber setup, you know? I think I probably could, but I'm not 100% sure. And yeah, like I said, I don't have a lot of the equipment anyway, so technologically impossible means Husmod bides time with all his might. He will get there eventually, but yeah, it's, I don't know. It's mostly having the stuff. Yeah. Also the time, to be fair, to set it up, but mostly having the actual equipment. That's the main barrier, to be honest. My webcam cost me a grand total of $5 at a thrift store. That's such a good find. That's such a good find. We find some really cool stuff in like the local equivalent of thrift stores, actually. We find some very cool stuff. Yeah. We found some cool stuff the other day, like some old like networking stuff, and it was pretty cheap. And we were like, tempting, but then we couldn't take it home, so didn't work. So sad. You could copy Beto and get a morph suit. No, I don't want people analyzing my anatomy, thank you. That's my worst nightmare. Terrible. Networking? Yeah, I sure hope it does. With a lab coat? That would be pretty funny, actually. A lab coat would be pretty funny. A lab coat would be very fun. Yeah, Husmod, you would actually have to cameo in the cooking stream. Oh, I require it. I would require your emotional and probably practical support. I need help to make sure I don't set fire to the kitchen, to be honest. Okay, so I've been yapping. I have actually intended to do some science today. For lab coats in a trench coat. Accurate, actually. That is very accurate. Look at me, I've got science ready. Where's my... There you are. Where did you go? Where did you go? I don't like it. I'm too big. There we go. Here. Hello. Is this good? Here. Yes. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. Good. Okay, cool. We have an extinguisher. We'll be fine. That is true. That is true. We did buy an updated fire extinguisher. Because we looked at the previous one and then we were like, oh, this went out of date in 2005. Maybe we should get a new one. Make sure your fire extinguisher is updated. That's not the right word. Install the software update on your fire extinguisher. Oh no. Oh no. Hi, how you doing? Welcome in. What's myopia? It is nearsightedness. It's where you can see things close up and you can't see things in the background. Yeah. Science, exactly. If you don't need a stove, you could avoid needing a kitchen. That's true. It depends on what I make, doesn't it? I do have I guess I have like one thing that would potentially work on my desk, but honestly, the other thing that's kind of scary about my desk, I'm not gonna lie to you, it is made out of actual cardboard. That is not hyperbole. It is made out of cardboard. So, and it started like forming cracks on it, and I'm starting to get a bit scared that if I put something heavy on it, it's gonna collapse. Like it's already making threatening noises when I move my monitors and stuff. So, I'm scared of putting an appliance on it. Maybe one day we'll make it work. I don't know. Oh no. Make shorts, translating paper titles into human ones. That'd be kind of fun, actually. That would be kind of fun. That's a good idea. I should steal that. I'll do it if I remember. How would I describe this one? Metacognitive myopia, a major obstacle on the way to rationality. I'm actually thinking and I don't really know. So it's like talking about being oblivious to background information, contextual information, which is important to the piece of information that you're considering. And obliviousness to that context is part of the reason why people aren't rational beings. I guess that's it. I don't know. Kind of, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I did very good with that one. I don't know. How do you read papers? Do you not tend to take notes or something during reading? Yeah, I kind of do. So you'll see as I go through, I will highlight things that I think are important. And then what I do is I use Psydere, so I can automatically export those highlights into a note. And then I will go through those and summarize them. So, and if there's anything like I think is really, really helpful, then I'll keep it in as a direct quote. But I think normally the act of summarizing it in your own words is normally the bit that like helps you remember what it says, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then I'll like put in little examples so that I understand it better. Yeah. Oh god, a fire extinguisher with proprietary software. That sounds like my idea of a tech dystopia. Don't give them ideas, Retty. Let's not give them ideas. Let's not give them ideas, please. I don't know if I like that. Oh no. I've heard of that, I think. Like when people try to stop all emotions with interfering with their thoughts. for example, but they still end up just not noticing their emotions are still there and then still interfere. Kind of, I think this is more in the sense of like, this is more in the sense of like looking at a piece of information and then considering, for example, who said it. More like that kind of contextual information. But I guess that might be kind of similar. Yeah. Thank you for the follow, Butterscotch Pecan. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. You are now a participant, so I hope you're ready to take part in some research. I don't know what kind of psychology research pecans can do, actually, but we'll find out. It's time to find out. Let's see. Alexithymia? No. Yeah, not alexithymia, no. Overcoming biases? Yeah, that's kind of a bit closer. We have the thinker to think for us. Very true. Very true. Hooray, research. Exactly. I like your positivity. Let's go. We've got a good participant here. People trying to discard their emotions and think through something totally rationally just ends up backfiring. I mean, sometimes they can. It's more like, hang on, wait. I was thinking. I think it's more that you can try and think through something rationally, but then have biases in the way that you're processing the information. And then it's like being aware of what those biases are. But then like, do you adjust your behavior to match the biases? Oh, read the previous comment. Whoops, what did I miss? Oh, instead of acknowledging their emotions and how they affect their judgments. Yeah. Like people trying to, yeah, okay. I don't know what I'm missing here. I think I'm missing something and I don't know what. Oh no. I'm eating a salad and suddenly it's super spicy. What? What's in your salad? Is there a way to integrate reading psych papers regularly? In what sense? Like in your daily routine? Because for me, when I was doing my PhD, I'd basically just wake up and spend the first like 2 hours after I wake up just reading. And I wouldn't schedule any meetings or anything during that time. I'd just be like, go away. Basically, I would literally put something in my calendar being like, I am busy. Don't talk to me. Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of like, kind of about emotions and how they affect their judgments. It's kind of similar to that, yeah. But more, when I say biases, it's more in terms of like systematic information processing errors, if that makes sense. So for example, like, I mean, we have a whole bunch of cognitive biases. What's a common one? The anchoring effect. If I'm saying to you, hey, how many followers do you think that I'm going to have by the end of the year? Let's use that as an example, right? And then I'm like, I think I'm going to have 1,500. Then you're more likely to choose a number that's kind of around it. So you might say, oh no, I think you're going to do a bit better than that. I think you're going to have like 1,700. And then what kind of happens is that like you kind of disregard all of the other possibilities. Like I could lose followers. I could lose followers. And that's not even considered, you know? Because when we're given a number like that, we tend to then orientate our thoughts around it. We tend to, what's called the anchoring effect. We anchor it around it. So yeah, so that would be an example. But then if you tell people about that, do they then correct what they're doing? Not always. And that's the interesting thing that they're trying to dig into in this paper, is that like, if people become aware of their bias, why do they keep doing it? Yeah. My cat's sitting next to me as I do some legal work and he's covering his face as he sleeps. He's just a big ball of white fluff. That's so cute. That's so cute. I love that. You put the funny symbol on the left and the ZT on the right. Incredible. Oh gosh. I can't see follower count on this device, so I can try and make a guess. Yeah, no, it's fine. I was just using it as an example. Please don't actually do that. That would make me self-conscious. Yeah, I wish that there was a little bit of markdown sometimes. It would be nice if you could like, yeah, have certain things italicized or something for emphasis, but it's fine. It's fine. It's meant for like short messages, right? So it's not too bad. Like having long philosophical discussions or like scientific discussions on Twitch, to be fair to it, is not what the platform was developed for. We're just doing it anyway. So, oh yeah. Yeah, mobile still can't reply. I find that annoying sometimes as well. Sometimes I want to reply to somebody on mobile and then I'm like, oh, I can't. But then to be fair, I'm like a lurker largely in chats anyways. Like I turn up and I maybe say hello if you're lucky and then I leave. Not leave. I don't leave. I just never go into chat. I just sit there and like with the stream on in the background doing my own thing, not interacting but listening. And then every now and then I'll be like, hee, that's funny, I have something to say now. And then by the time, because I'm a really slow typer sometimes, so like I'll try and work out how to okay, here's the thing with me, right? I think I'm fairly quick to process information coming in, but I'm very, very slow to generate it. So like I can read stuff very, very quickly, and then it will take me a long time to work out what to say in response, right? So I feel like streaming's kind of made me a little bit quicker, which is good. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. But in general, I find it very, very difficult to process things quickly. So by the time that I end up replying to, like, you know, say, like making a comment in a chat, I'm like, oh, the moment's passed. And like some streamers, I don't mind it. It's fine. Because like, you know, I know them and they're just like be able to go back to it and bounce off it regardless. But sometimes I'm just kind of like, I feel too nervous. I don't want to today. I'm scared. Oh dear. The amount of times that I've been lurking in a stream and then somebody like says something about me and I'm like, that's me. That's me. And then by the time I've processed the fact that it's me and I've worked out what to say in response, the whole conversation's moved on and I'm like, oh, bye. So sad. So sad. To do the same kind of lurking, more so when I have less energy. Yeah, I mean, for me, most of the time I'm in front of my PC, like I'm either working or streaming. So it's, yeah, kind of hard to keep up with what's going on sometimes. I don't know. My main way of watching streams is like working on something and then having the stream in the background as background noise. And like I am listening and I'm enjoying the stream. It's just I'm not like in the chat. Yeah. Yeah. What is a good way to find papers to read? Like, what's your process on finding a paper you want to read and filter that out from those you would find less interesting? So for me personally, I actually have a RSS feed for a bunch of journals. So I have, I guess can I show you this? Wait. I don't know if I can. No, that won't work. Okay, never mind. I have an RSS feed basically for a bunch of journals. So the journals that are like relevant to my research, I have RSS feeds of them that go straight into my Zotero. And yeah, I just kind of skim through. And if the title seems relevant to what I'm doing, then I will have a quick read of the abstract, which is, yeah, this bit here. It's like a quick summary. It's like a 200-word summary of the paper, basically. And then if it still seems relevant and interesting after that, then I will read it eventually, maybe, perhaps. To be honest, I do have 2,000 unread papers in my... Actually, no, it might be more than that now. It is more than that. I imported a bunch of stuff. I have 4,000 unread papers in my Zotero, which I'll probably never read. I need to clear it out at some point, but it's been one of those like post-thesis tasks that I've been meaning to do and I've just not got around to it yet. So sad. We love using platforms for things that they were not meant for. Exactly. It's fun. It's very, very fun. It's very fun. I like being... Actually, what is the word? I was going to say problematic, but it's not problematic because it's good. So I like being strange. Same. I like to think about what I want to say, so I'm communicating properly. Like right now, I'm going to be slowly deciding what I'm going to say. I'm exactly the same, honestly. I'm exactly the same. I take so long to work out what to say about, because like the way that I communicate sometimes is a bit odd. So yeah, it's sometimes a bit odd. Yeah, I put my words in weird orders and stuff, and then I go back and read it, and I'm like, wait, no, that's not grammatically correct. And then I fix it, and then by that time, it's been a solid 10, 15 seconds, and the whole conversation's moved on. Twitch goes too quick for me. That's what I'm saying. Twitch chat, conscious, preposterous. So true. So true. What's Zotero? Yeah, Zotero. Yeah. So Zotero. It is a, actually, I'll just find the website for it. It's a paper management. I mean, it's not just papers, actually. They do a bunch of stuff now. But it's like a management system. So you can keep all of your papers in there and other things that you're using for research. There you go. That's the website. I'm a big fan of Zotero. Big fan. One day, if I'm brave, I might reach out to them and be like, how do you feel about me doing a little thingy? doing a little thingy with you. But I'm too scared at the minute. Have you tried Obsidian? I have. I like Obsidian. It's pretty good. I feel like I don't get the best use of it out. Brilliant. I feel like I don't get the best use out of it though, because I don't think it quite matches the way that I think about things. Yeah, but it's okay. It's I like it. Yes, Obsidian, noted. Exactly. Exactly. It's perfect for that. I love Markdown. I love Markdown too. I'm not gonna lie though. I think it's weirdly, I like the base features of Obsidian in terms of like just being a Markdown viewer. That's very good. It's like the extra things like the tagging and the linking that like stresses me out a little bit. I don't know. It feels a little bit overwhelming sometimes to have everything linked together like that. Sometimes the way that I think about things is that I just want it in a list basically. And I will just go, like, I know where it is in the list and I will just go to it. So yeah. Yeah. I'm the type of person to overcomplicate their LaTeX just so they can write markdown in there. That's such a mood. It's good if you don't complicate it. Very, very true. Very true. Yeah, no, I'm a big markdown enjoyer. Yeah. I use phone notes with all of the plugins. What is that one? I've never heard of that one. The only thing that I had originally was I had Q own notes. Okay. Let's see. Free open source plain text notepad. Ooh. Oh, it's basically like Obsidian. But it looks a bit... They look very similar. Okay, interesting. Noted. Looking at that might actually... Interesting. I use 50 tabs open on Chrome. No, I hate that. That gives me anxiety. When there's too many people, brilliant. When there's too many tabs open, oh no, I can't do that. I shut down my browser every night and I make sure I have nothing left on it. And if I've shut it, then I've shut it. It's gone. Shame. Goodbye. Only 50. No, stop it. No. Gotta utilize my RAM. You're certainly doing that. Not the 572 tab stress test. No. Unused RAM is wasted RAM. No. Okay, I'm gonna have some tea. Okay, I've had some tea. Very good. Also, I've literally just realized I was yapping so much. I've just realized that there was a Be Mindful redeem from Caesar and also a posture check from Wild Max Plays. Thank you both. I will posture check. Ow. I'm breaking things. Where are my cards? I'll keep the cards here and we'll do them at the end. I also need to take my medicine. So give me 1 second with that too. Do you like that? I actually remembered to turn off the alarm before the stream today. I'm learning. Hydrate, thank you. Very good timing. Thank you, Sonora Sad. Thank you. Okay, let me have some water. Delicious. Delicious tap water. Yes. Tap water is underrated. Something terrible has just happened. My medicines are like in a numbered blister pack. Not numbered, but like they've got the days of the week on it, and I've just taken the wrong day out. I don't know how to process this, and I'm really upset. Move the day. I hereby declare today to be Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Oh gosh. Hi Yakima, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome in. I hope you're good. How you doing? My way of reading news to divide the screen between Firefox and Thunderbird, scroll through the RSS in it, open all the interesting news in Firefox, and then alternate between the news in Firefox and the webcomics I also subscribe to in Thunderbird. That's very good. I like that. I like that. The only RSS feeds that I have are Zotero based ones for journals. But like even then, I swear a lot of journals are actually shutting down their RSS feeds, which is really annoying. Because like loads of them just haven't updated in over a year. And then I was like, oh, maybe the journal is just dead. And then I went on the journal page and it was like, wee, look, new articles from the last 3 days. And I was like, huh? That's rude. That's rude. What's going on? We're going to be reading a paper. We're going to be reading a paper. We started reading it a little while back, probably a week ago or something. We're going to read some more of it in a second. Oh no. I'm readjusting. I'm posture checking. 0 words per minute. Don't attack me like this. Don't attack me like this. Oh dear. I'm good. I'm glad to. I'm good too. Thank you. Thank you. I'm good. I'm good. Didn't spend much time customizing it just because I didn't need to, and I love customizing it. I love customizing stuff. That's okay. That's fair. I'm like a base person. Like I just use the thing that it gives me. The only thing that I've ever really changed, to be honest, is that Zotero had like a dark theme, and they've integrated it into like the base Zotero now. But for a while, it was like a plugin. But it wasn't really much of a plugin. It was literally just CSS code. It's not even code really, is it? CSS isn't really code, but it was literally just a CSS thing that would just change it to look dark. But they have an actual dark version integrated in now, so that's good. Thank you for the follow, Yo Momotori. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope you're ready to take part in some research. CSS is Turing complete. I mean, that's true, that's true, that's true. How would they sell your email to every wayward spammer if you read it from a non-RSS feed? That's also very true, actually. That is very true. Yeah, I have too many emails, and yeah, I've started. I there was a point. I've managed to like stop it now, but like there was a point where my like student email address was getting. I'm not joking when I say this. 50 emails like every few days. From just spammy course things and conferences that aren't real conferences and stuff like that. And I'm like, where did you come from? Go away. Academic spam is so bad now. There's so many like fake conference lists, fake journals, like, yeah, training courses. Honestly, it's terrible. It's terrible. I have my notepad. Good. I'm glad. Let's go. We love the enthusiasm. Okay. So with that, maybe it's time to do some reading. Can you go more into fake conferences? Yeah. So basically there's a bunch of conferences that have been set up. They're not actually conferences, but like they'll say, for example, oh, there's a conference on, I don't know, there's a conference on, what can we say? There's a cognitive psychology conference happening this year in Singapore. I don't know. Let's say that, for example. And then it will be like at an actual hotel in Singapore on the listing, and there'll be like actual scientists listed as the committee, but then they will take registration fees, and then people turn up, and then there is no conference. It doesn't exist. They just are at the hotel. So basically it's like a scam. They're scamming academics by getting like conference fees. I don't know. It's very weird. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Yeah. But it is a thing. IFS, but making academia actually exactly that. Oh no. I forgot. Isn't there Fire Festival 2 happening? That's gonna be fun. Oh no. I think I'm getting that in my feed from ancient Google groups. You could well be. I get quite a lot of them now. But like the weird thing is that they're not even related to my actual area of research. It's like AI conferences a lot. So you probably are definitely getting those too. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad because it's like, it's not like the scientists' money themselves, but it will be like grant money that's come from the government. So it's basically just like scamming taxpayer money. So it's not great. Yeah. I always get medicine conferences. Oh no. Is there no legal thing happening against these scams? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I remember I read an article about it, and it was somebody that had like really genuinely thought this was a real conference, and they turned up to present their research. And when they got to the hotel was like, no, that's not a thing. What are you talking about? And then like loads of other people turned up too, and they were all like, huh? Where's the conference? And they kind of ended up having like an impromptu conference from what I remember, which is very cute. But yeah, you'd think that there would be more being done to stop it. Normally they have like, they'll often have names that are quite similar to actual conferences. So what's an example? Let me think of an example. Give me 1 second. So there is a big human computer interaction conference run by ACM, which is called CHI. And let me work out what that stands for. When my page eventually loads, hello, why is my internet being so slow? Never mind, their website doesn't work. Brilliant. Okay, never mind. But like, instead of being like CHI 2025, it will be like HCI 2025 or ICH 2025, you know? Like it'll be very, very, very similar. And yeah, it's designed to like basically surprise people. Be like, hee, it's not actually the real one. Okay, yeah, so conference, so CHI is the Conference on Human Factors in Computer Systems, right? So the name of the conference would be something like Conference on Computer Systems and Human Factors, something like that, you know? So it'd be really, really similar, but slightly twisted around. Yeah, it's a thing. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in, Hunter. 1 tab open, now I'm at my computer. Good job, good job. Let's see. At that point, it may as well be a conference. That's true. An unconference is a conference still, kind of. Time to disappear to spruce up a summary for presentation. I hope you have a great day, and I will be hopeful to say that you'll get through some of the paper. Thank you, Bushy. And regardless of if you do, have an amazing stream. Thank you so much, Bushy. I hope you have a lovely day too. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for the lab safety register check-ins. They're very sad. Thank you. I hope you're good. Okay, so paper. Let's read the paper now. So, metacognitive myopia, a major obstacle on the way to rationality. What did we read last time? Also, hang on. There we go. That's slightly better. What did we read last time? We read this. So, in short, what is irrational may not be the primary occurrence of biases. Rather, it is the persistence of biases in spite of opportunities for metacognitive validity checks that can detect and enable correction of those primary biases. So that is what I said earlier about how the biases, like having the biases in the way that we process information isn't inherently problematic. We all have them. It's just there. It's whatever. It's just there. The thing that becomes irrational is when we know that there are biases, but we either don't identify them or we just ignore them. We just keep doing the thing. We just keep processing the information in biased ways regardless. So that's how they're defining irrationality. Okay? So it's not the fact that the biases exist. The biases just exist. They're just a fact of life. They just happen. The issue is instead when the biases exist and we don't acknowledge them or correct them. Okay, cool. And then we need to understand rationality in humans, we need to explain why it is that those biases go undetected or uncorrected or both. Yeah. So that was the summary of that first bit. They've come up with the term metacognitive myopia. So myopia is like it's like short-sightedness, right? It's like where you can see something up close and you can't see the background. It's all blurry. I have that. I can't see. Yeah. So in this case, they're using it to refer to situations in which the immediate information is processed correctly, but the layer below the immediate information, its source or context, is neglected and out of focus. So what's the information that's being presented to you? You process it correctly. You know, you're like, yep, understood, got it. But then like the information surrounding it. So for example, who is telling you it, or how reliable the source is, those kinds of things, they go ignored. So that's what they're calling metacognitive myopia. They're saying that metacognitive myopia is nothing to do with whether you're like focusing on other stuff like multitasking. It just happens. It seems to happen regardless of that. So yeah, it seems to be a fairly persistent thing. And then they provided some examples. But I don't think the examples are like I think you kind of have to be already knowing a fair bit about cognition in order to really understand those examples thoroughly, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then what was here? So their summary was typical of all the metacognitive myopia examples discussed so far is biases, persistent evasion of monitoring and control, uncritical monitoring often overlooks invalidity or misattributes it to the wrong sources, poor control functions fail to discard or correct for information that monitoring or debriefing has diagnosed as invalid. Although monitoring and control are not independent, but rather are coordinated functions, decomposing metacognitive myopia is instructive and helpful for understanding the double function of metacognition. So they're saying that this process of like being aware of the information that you're processing, it's actually two separate things. There is the monitoring. So, you know, the monitoring is keeping an eye on how you're processing the information. So whether you're processing it with any biases. And then the control is the correcting for it. So you know that there's a bias there, you've monitored, you've identified, and then you correct for it. You know, you fix it. You make sure you're not using bias processing anymore. Does all of that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know how well I've explained that, because honestly, like, this is one of those papers where like what they're saying kind of like intuitively makes sense to me, but I don't know if I'm doing a very good job of converting it into not cognitive psychology words. Yeah, I don't know. Let me have some tea, actually. I need some tea. Wait. Okay. I've got my tea. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. Because I'm not sure how clearly I've explained that. Yeah. Okay. So where are we? We are on to the next section, which is metacognitive monitoring functions. Okay, interesting. Let's see what this is. But first I drink tea. Wait. Perfect. Okay. It do have job. It do indeed. Okay, so monitoring biased samples. Effective monitoring must be sensitive to sampling biases, whether in group discussions, newspaper coverage, or lists of search engine results. Although this requirement appears to be self-evident, sampling biases can be hard to deal with. So sampling biases, I guess, is yeah, when you're how can I explain this? So like what your sample is like a subsection of the population, right? So like, for example, if you've got a Google search with 10,000 results, you're probably only going to look at the first 3 pages. So the first three pages would be a sample. Sampling biases can refer to like biases in how those samples are collected. So for example, with the Google search engine, it would be like the algorithm boosting certain results to the front because they've paid money for it or whatever. But it can also be in the way that we're understanding how the sample reflects the population. So a lot of the time, if you give somebody a sample, they'll just kind of assume it reflects the population when a lot of the time it actually doesn't. So those first 3 pages of Google search might not be representative of all of the potential options, because those 3 pages might be just entirely made up of like sites that have spent money on getting to the front page. Yeah. And that might not be the same as everything else that you could find. Monitoring the validity of real samples, which are rarely random or unbiased, is often flawed. For example, participants in the ultimate sampling dilemma evaluate positive and negative experiences with 3 providers in 2 product domains, computers and telecommunications. In the universe from which they sample information, the same 2-1 distribution of positive to negative evaluations holds for both product classes, computers and telecommunications, distributed 2-1, and across all 3 providers, P1, P2, and P3, distributed 4-2-1. Thus, all contingencies are set to 0. Wait, what? Huh? Hang on a second. Right, so there's 3 providers for either computers or telecommunications. 2-1 distribution of positive to negative evaluations. Okay, so I'm assuming that means like reviews. People have like reviewed it or something. So there's more positive. There's yeah, 2-1. So there's out of every 3, 2 are positive and 1 is negative. And the distributions are across the providers. So there's 4 reviews for P1 to 2 reviews for P2 to 1 review to P3. Thus, all contingencies are set to 0. What does that mean? I don't know if I understand what they're saying here. What does it mean? Yet on the focus of the information search, samples drawn from this universe can lead to markedly different judgments. Thus, when a participant's focus on P3 versus P1 and P2, the oversampling of P3 creates a pattern like the one shown in the upper right chart of Figure 1. Let's have a look at Figure 1. Oh no, not the 3-dimensional graphs. I'm not sure if I like what they're doing with this, actually. Our professor in the information retrieval class told us people don't often even look further than the first page. That's very true. That is true. People do tend to just look at the first page. I know for a fact I don't. Mood. I hate this. I know, right? What are these graphs? What's going on? Stop. Friends don't let friends make 3D bar charts. What is this? I was distracted, but would contingencies be like confound or context in this case? I honestly don't know. I don't really know what they're saying. Let's see. Let's see if I can work something out from the... If I weren't jumping into this paper from the middle, I'd be trying really hard to understand and help understand it. In all honesty, the summary that I gave is pretty much the whole thing. They just say they use a lot of words to say not a lot. The key things really are just like this idea that people, like that biases are just a normal part of information processing. One of the biases that we have is that we tend to ignore like the context around a source. And then the fact that we consistently do that, even if we know about it. So like there's two processes going on with that. There's like the fact that there's monitoring it in terms of like, how do we work out whether or not words. So there's two processes. The first is like monitoring. So working out whether or not we are correctly evaluating the source. And then the second is correction, which is realizing that we're doing it wrong and then doing it right instead. And they're saying that like the fact that biases happen in our information processing, so like the fact that like we sometimes interpret things wrong basically, or like, you know, make errors in the way that we process information, that isn't inherently irrational. But the fact that sometimes we acknowledge that it's happening and we don't correct for it, that is irrational. And potentially the fact that we don't even acknowledge it might also be irrational. That's what they're arguing. Yeah. What do you have against 3D graphs? What do you mean, what do I have against 3D graphs? Just look at it. What is happening here? I genuinely don't know what's happening here. Okay. Illustration of a failure in monitoring sampling bias. Given the same skewed 2-1 distribution of positive to negative outcomes for the... See, I didn't even work out from what they said that there was a skewed distribution. What are they talking about? Okay. I'm going to have a very quick look at the paper that they have cited. Let's see. Ultimate sampling dilemma. I hope this is open access. It isn't. Excellent. Okay. So this is the abstract from the thing that they're citing. Computer simulations and 2 experiments demonstrate the ultimate sampling dilemma, which constitutes a serious obstacle. I'm struggling today. What on earth? The ultimate sampling dilemma, which constitutes a serious obstacle to inductive inferences in a probabilistic world. Participants were asked to take the role of a manager who is making a purchasing decision. What? Where did that come from? Okay. Based on positive versus negative feedback about 3 providers in 2 different product domains. When information sampling from computerized database was over, they had to make inferences about actual differences in the database from which the sample was drawn. For example, about the actual superiority of the different providers, or about the most likely origins of the negatively valenced products. The ultimate sampling dilemma consisted of forced choice between 2 search strategies that both have their advantages and their drawbacks: natural sampling and deliberate sampling of information relevant to the inference task. Both strategies leave the sample unbiased for specific inferences, but create errors or biases in other inferences. Okay, I actually genuinely just don't understand what they're trying to say here. This might be me though. Oh no. It's not open access, but let me quickly see if I can find the paper itself. I can. Brilliant. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So there's a trade-off between natural sampling, which is like random and unbiased, versus selective sampling, which is targeted but potentially biased. And there was differences in the way that people processed information that was either using either strategy. That's what I'm getting out of this. But honestly, I don't actually know what they're trying to say, and I don't know if it's them or if it's me. I don't know if it's them or if it's me. No. Oh dear. Hi Dave, how you doing? How you doing? I hope you're good. SMH my head, honestly. That's how I feel, like trying to understand what they're trying to say here. And hi doody doo, thank you for the lab safety register check-in. Thank you. I hope you're good. Oh, and hydrate. Thank you, while Max plays. I'll have some water. I wasn't paying attention to what C+1, C-, T+, and T- are. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what they are. This is the thing. I think because there's such a small word count, they've just kind of like skimmed over this. They are terrible graphs. I agree, Just Jane. I agree. Not a fan. Yeah. You gotta head out? Wild Max Place, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. You're awesome. Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And also thank you for the lab safe racer check-in, Galaguru. Thank you, thank you. Welcome in. I hope you're good. Okay. Right. I don't know what they're trying to say here. I accept defeat. Depending on the focus of information search, samples drawn from this universe can lead to markedly different judgments. When participants focus on... So, okay, so this is something to... I think this is something to do with the different providers, but I think they're also... So when people focus on the underrepresented, brilliant. When people focus on the underrepresented provider, the oversampling... Wait, what? No, because they said 4, 2, 1. So surely... Am I misunderstanding how ratios work? I thought that the 1 would be the one with the least things in it. I have no idea what's going on here. They've completely lost me. This is like live science struggle happening right now. Oh gosh. But the oversampling creates a pattern like the one shown in the chart, the upper right chart. Okay, so upper right chart. So we're looking at this one. But I don't know what C- and C+ mean. So C is computers, T. Okay, so C and T are the different C and T are the different product options. So C is computers and T is telecommunications. And then P1, 2, 3 are the providers. So that was distributed 4, 2, 1. Okay. So 4, 2, 1. So it looks like because there was an underrepresentation of P3 in the sample, possibly the valuations are given more weight, but I don't know what the y-axis is. I assume the y-axis is the... Okay. So outcomes for the providers are in the upper left chart. Completely different patterns emerge when sampling draws heavily from P3 upper right chart. Oh, okay. So, oh, wait. Okay, I think I've worked this out now. So I think they varied the ratios. So like in this one, P1 has a 4 to 2 to 1 ratio. Here it seems to be the other way around. It's a 4 to 2 to 1. And then here it's like, wait, what? 4 to 2 to 1 again? Maybe? I don't know. Oh, wait. When sampling draws heavily on P3, upper right chart, or on negative outcomes, bottom left chart. So this is negative. What? Nah, they've lost me. They've lost me. I don't know what this is saying. I can't work this out. What the heck? Very rarely am I genuinely stumped by a visualization in an article, and this is stumping me actually really badly. I can tell the roughly relative sizes of the properties. I can more or less tell that P2 T-1 is half to a third the size of P2 C+ size. But then again, I don't know what these properties themselves are. Yeah, so yeah. I think it would be helpful because they've like said here like what each of the charts are. But I think it would be more helpful if they'd actually labeled their axes, in all honesty. That would be the biggest help. Because like, what is up? Because it seems like upper right up here and bottom left down here, these have two separate y-axes based on what they're saying, but I honestly don't know. I don't know. Please, 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 please. This is a public service announcement. This is a public service announcement. Please, I am begging you, put axes on your graphs. Please. I don't know what you're saying. What do your axes mean? Dude, just, it's not hard. Please. One of the biggest sins of graphs, it is. It's terrible. It's terrible. I can't read this. I can't read this. So I'm just going to assume that this whole section says nothing. Because if I can't work out what it's saying, then I don't really know what to say about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, the values aren't specified as far as I can tell. Should I scroll down further? No, there's no values in a table. There's no tables. There's no values. There's nothing. It's just this. We don't know the values. For values, see this paper, which is closed access, by the way. Okay. Okay. I can't do anything with that. I can't do anything with that. Oh no. Terrible, terrible. Attempts were made, honestly. Honestly. Maybe that's a psych thing. I can't remember a bio paper that doesn't label axes. I've never seen a psych paper that doesn't label their axes. I'm genuinely like confused and upset. I'm upset. Oh dear. I think that's a good assumption. It just seems to be intentionally trying to obfuscate the results with weird visualization rather than providing data in the table like a normal person. Right. And then the fact that the writing here also, again, I can't tell if this is me, but the writing here, this whole paragraph, I feel like is just really confusing for no reason. So it's, wait, never mind. I was going to zoom in, but it's this one. This is the paragraph that is really confusing. Okay. I'll highlight it in yellow. I'll give you all a moment to see if you can read through it and work out what's going on here. I'm gonna do like a last resort and like see if I can find any summaries of what it means. Because sometimes you find people talking about it on blogs and stuff. Let's see. I'm reading. Participants evaluate experiences with positive and negative outcomes in a universe where distributions are consistent. 2:1 ratio of positive to negative evaluations for both product classes, so both telecommunications and computers. 4:2:1 ratio for the positive experiences across the three providers. These ratios are considered unbiased because all contingencies, that is unexpected factors, are neutral or set to 0. Different sampling strategies or focus areas cause judgments to deviate from the baseline. Okay, so they're trying to set up like an artificial environment where, in theory, there should be nothing else affecting the evaluations. I think. But what they've actually, so that should in theory just limit what they're finding explicitly to sampling errors, I guess. And then when participants disproportionately focus on provider 3 compared to the others, the resulting data reflects provider 3's exaggerated prominence, which is illustrated in the upper right chart. So this one. Yeah, so I think what they're trying to say is that if you see more reviews, then the reviews hold more weight. I think that's what they're trying to say, when in theory that shouldn't happen. Like hypothetically, that shouldn't happen. But I think they're basically just saying in a really complicated way, there was more information about one provider compared to the other two. And that provider that had more information about it became more prominent in their evaluations. I think that's what they're saying. So basically, repeated exposure, I guess, question mark, changes how the evaluations work. I think that's what they're saying. Shifting focus to product deficits, negative evaluations, alters the judgment pattern. Yeah. So shifting the focus from, shifting the 2:1 ratio from like 2 positive to 1 negative, shifting it instead to 1 positive, 2 negative means that people give more negative evaluations. That's what they're saying, I think. But then, okay, now that I'm starting to process this seems like a very complicated way of saying something that's actually very simple, which is that information that we read, something that we are exposed to more, we consider to a greater extent. And also, if there is, our evaluations will match the pattern of positive to negative that we read. So like if you read a bunch of reviews and more of them are positive, then you're more likely to think, okay, that's good overall. Whereas if you read a bunch of reviews and more of them are negative, then you're more likely to think, okay, that's probably bad overall. I think that's basically what they're saying. Even though in theory, the baseline should be the same. I think that's what they're saying. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this one has 3,000 reviews versus 500, so I'll put more positive weight to the more reviewed one. Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to say. I think that's exactly it. Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I felt quite lost reading the paragraph. Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too. Hi, Psydere. How are you? How are you? I hope you're good. I hope you're good. What happened to me? I became Adventure Time. I became Adventure Time. Look at me. Wait, look at me. This is me now. I became Adventure Time. Thanks to my wonderful model parent, Mylin. I am Adventure Time now. Oh, it's science time. Oh. And hi, Kiori. How are you doing? I'm good, thank you. I'm good, I'm good. How are you? I hope you're good. I like the model, thank you. I think it's very good. I love it. This is how I feel internally. This is my perfect self. Take a good look, everybody. This is my perfect self. Anime girl, bleh, boring. No thoughts, head empty, actual bean eyes. 10 out of 10. This is how I imagine myself. Oh my gosh. And hi, Dawnprod. Hi. How are you? I hope you're good. Okay. Let's see. So I think we've got this worked out now. So I think they're basically saying, I'm actually going to make a note for myself here. Wait, I might need to hide this quickly because I don't know if it's going to say anything about who I am. Let's see. No. There we go. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, this is fine. Okay. There we go. Have it back. What are we adding as a comment? We are adding greater incidence equals more weight put on the information. For example, a product with 3,000 reviews is preferred over a product with 500 reviews. The ratio of positive to negative also affects the evaluation. Cool. This is sampling bias because actually the ratios were consistent. I think that's what they're trying to say. Yeah. I think that's what they're trying to say. You might not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. So true, actually. This is what peak scientists look like. Get that stereotype of like the old Einstein looking dude out of your head. This is what they look like now. Good thing you're Adventure Time because you need mathematics to understand the graph. Literally so true. So true. This graph is not mathematical. It is not algebraic. Terrible. Oh gosh. Okay. Right, where are we at? A citation? That's true. I should cite you. Citation. Oh, whoops. There we go. Citation. Bobo. Whoops. Bobo. Bobo. No, wait. What is going on with my typing today? I think it's because my keyboard's inside the wrong place. Oh, just palette swaps and some accessories and base shape. True. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So I think we've worked out what that means now. That was painful. Okay. Right. Denominator neglect in monitoring numerators. Okay, here we go. So, also it's Bobo. Yes, they are not native speakers. They are, I think they're German. Yeah. Well, I know for a fact that the lead author is German, actually, I think. So, yeah. I think this might be like slightly translation issue. And I think it might also be slightly like a product of the field, because certain areas of cognitive psychology are very jargon heavy. Very jargon heavy, and I struggle with reading them. And the amount of times that I have to go and look up definitions for words and stuff when I'm reading cognitive psychology papers is painful. So yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. So closer reflection on denominator neglect. So that was the thing where they when you're looking at something can be like 2 out of 10 or 1 out of 5, and you process them differently even though they're actually the same amount. Yeah, that's what denominator neglect is that you kind of like, you look at the numerator and the number on top, and you forget to look at the bottom number. Jog on, jog off. I wish it would jog off. Okay. So closer reflection on denominator neglect offers a plausible mechanistic account of metacognitive myopia in proportional reasoning. To assess a proportion or average, one needs to assess both the frequency sum of a focal outcome, the numerator, and the sample size, n, by which it is divided, the denominator. It's getting mathsy and I don't like it. The increment or decrement coded for each observation depends on n. It is half if n equals 2, 1/10 if n equals 10, and so forth. Yet as sample size, all ongoing samples n, is rarely known beforehand, the increment or decrement is unknown, which makes denominator size indeterminate even when n is known. Participants may thus learn to make do without n, resorting to numerator summation strategies that value the same relative proportion higher when observations are summed over a large n rather than a small n. As a consequence, the tendency to underestimate the same proportion in a small sample relative to a large sample may prevent people from recognizing the preciousness of scarce goods. Conversely, an adaptive consequence of denominator neglect may be to ameliorate disappointment, that is, the difference between obtained and foregone outcomes, which decision affect theory predicts to be more severe for small samples. Okay. That bit I struggled with less, actually. Let me highlight this. Honestly, this whole section is pretty good. So they're basically saying that because in everyday life, the samples that we're using don't really have, like, we might not have the sample size, you know, we might see like, I don't know, for example, we might see that something has 500 reviews that are visible, but we don't know if that's all of the possible reviews. We don't know if there are other reviews on other sites, stuff like that. So we kind of just learn to make do without knowing the overall sample size. That's basically what they're saying. So if a number that we can look at is bigger, like if for example, if you're looking on Amazon, it's got 500 reviews, that's pretty decent. It's got 1,000 reviews, that's even better. Like, we just work with that rather than trying to account for like all of the other reviews that might exist on other sites, because there's no way to know that off the top of your head. That's kind of what they're saying, I think. I don't know, does that make sense? Does that make sense? I hope it kind of makes some degree of sense. That feels a lot more intuitive than what they were trying to say before. Thank you, Aishikano and Antisocial Vigilante for the follows. Welcome in. Welcome to the participant pool. You've just signed up. You're going to take part in my research now, right? You're going to take part, right? Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follows. Perhaps good enough. German doesn't help. My adoptive father had to work a lot with a lot of German engineers, and the way they structured sentences felt different from the way that we did. Even in English, it was more pronounced in the technical talking. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the fact that there's like a different word order, if that makes sense. Yeah, because like the noun, if I remember correctly, the verb goes at the end of the sentence in German. So you'll have like the noun first and then the verb after, which is the opposite of the way that you'd normally do it in English, because you'd be like, you know, the dog. Wait, no. I walk the dog, for example. You might say that. I'm walking the dog. Whereas like in German, the equivalent would be like, I'm dog walking, which means something totally different in English, obviously. But like, I have seen that kind of speech pattern come in quite a lot, and it seems to be especially pronounced in like academic writing where there is any kind of maths going on, which is really interesting. I dog the walk. Exactly. I the dog walk. Yeah. I'm dog walking sounds really cool though. It sounds powerful, doesn't it? It sounds powerful. If you don't mind me asking, Psydere, I've noticed a multitude of psychological and counseling publications tend to be grammatically erroneous. I'm wondering why the case is such. Translation issues aside, I honestly don't know. I think my gut instinct is that a lot of journals, they will pay their editor-in-chief, but a lot of their like associate editors and their copywriters actually won't be paid. And then obviously peer review is also not paid. So I have a suspicion that like clinicians who are also peer reviewing are probably very, 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 very busy. So they might just have less time to like find those kinds of errors, because they're like low weight errors, right? They're not very impactful. They're impactful on your reading experience, but they're not impactful on the clinical information that's being transmitted, right? So yeah, they're probably just getting kind of ignored. But the other possibility is that there's just a lot of like bad journals now, to be honest. There's a lot of predatory journals that will publish pretty much anything, no matter how accurate it is, and no matter how and no matter how well written it is. So it could be either of the two, to be honest. Yeah. I think I understand the top right graph, but can someone explain what the bottom left graph is trying to say? I've forgotten. No, this way. So I think if I remember correctly, the top graphs were using positive. So it had like a 2:1 ratio of like good to bad reviews. So for every one bad review, there were 2 good reviews. And this bottom graph is different because the ratio's been swapped. So for every 1 good review, there are 2 bad ones. Yeah. I think that's what it was saying. Which is why like the negative evaluations are a lot higher here than they are like here or here. Yeah. That's how I understood it in the end. Believe predatory journals are a symptom of the overall publish or perish mentality in academia. I 100% agree. 100% agree. They really, really are. Because there's so much pressure to like do research quickly and get it out there now. That like, I mean, to be fair, also, it's just a good way to make money. Let's be honest, it's a good way to scam money. So they're just like taking the money on the massive, because in I don't know if everybody knows this, but like to publish in a scientific journal, you have to pay for it. You have to pay to get your work published most of the time. So you have to pay a fee to get your work published, and then yeah, it gets peer reviewed and then published. But like you don't get any money in return. You don't get paid for your work, because the argument is like you get paid out of grants and stuff up front, which I think I'm not a fan of this system. I've said this many times before. But yeah, I very much agree. Like publish or perish is basically this thing where like there's a lot of emphasis on what you're publishing now and how much you're publishing and how many citations it's getting. So the more you churn out papers, the more that you will get papers published and the more citations you will get, and then the more you can go like, hey, look, I'm really productive, look at me, promote me, things are good, I swear. So yeah, that's the that's what that's about. It especially gets new researchers who need the publications to establish themselves. Absolutely, yeah. I've actually been like told before, like hang on a second, you've like finished your PhD almost and you still don't have any first author publications? And I'm like, yeah, because I have a plan for what my publications are going to be. I want them to be good quality. So I'm just taking my time on them. You know, I want to be proud of what I put out. And I'm very thankfully in a job where I can do that. Like, I'm not evaluated by the quantity of research that I put out. I'm evaluated by the quality. So that's very good. But for most people that are in like universities, it's quantity, unfortunately, because they have to make evaluations pretty quickly. So yeah, it's a bit rubbish. It's a bit rubbish, and it does mean that there's a lot of junk papers going out. But you know, there's only so much you can do about it, apart from just like refusing to publish in those predatory journals. That's kind of the obvious thing. Yeah. I don't have experience with psych, but I can tell you how it works in engineering. You have engineers who don't really know or care about the grammar, correcting other engineers who also don't really know or care about the grammar. And the result is something in terms of data, great in terms of data, but terrible in terms of linguistics. That might well be the case, but you would expect that that wouldn't happen in psychology because we are actually largely taught how to write properly. I don't know what's up with that. That's a bit, yeah, it's a bit weird. Thank you for the follow, Echoac. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I hope you're good. The people who do the peer review care as little as the people who do the writing of the review about the grammar itself. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, ultimately, the thing that's important is that the science is good quality. That being said, there is increasing like pressure on people to like get copy editing services. This is just another way that the journals are kind of shifting responsibility away from themselves and boosting their profit margins, in my opinion. That's my personal conspiracy theory, but they're basically now telling people to get copywriters, like copy editors, before they submit to the journal to like check over the English and stuff. Yeah, not a fan of that. I think the journal should be doing that. But what do I know? I'm just a silly little PhD student. Not for long though, to be fair. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the science publishing field either, Drennans. I'm not either. Hi, Roshiro. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you for the check-in. I hope you're good. I hope you're good. I'm glad math publishing is the way it is now. I've heard math publishing is a lot slower, which makes sense because you need to really take the time to like properly process what you're doing, right? Yeah. So even if an article is a load of crock, no integrity whatsoever, and is detrimental, it can be published just because. In theory, peer review should stop that from happening. But in practice, yes, that does happen sometimes. And that's why you can sometimes see retractions. Like sometimes people will retract their work because they've discovered an error in it. And like, that's good. That's the ethically correct thing to do. But other times it's actually just not good science and it will be retracted forcefully by the journal for that reason. Yeah. Hi, Runic Fiend. How you doing? How you doing? We are indeed doing some reading today, although admittedly we're not very far through the reading, as always. As always. Maybe they too care about the data, more about the data than the linguistics. Yeah, and I think that's fair enough. But on the other hand, what's the point in having good data if you can't understand what the data is telling you? Like, because it's written badly. And it's less of a problem if the data is open access, because then you can, you know, go through the data and look yourself. But in cases where the data is not made publicly available, like, how can I trust what you're saying about the data if you can't even write clearly about what it's telling you, you know? It's quite difficult. And like, sometimes I really want to just know what it says. It's like, and people have just written it in a really, really complicated way. And I'm like, stop. I'm a big advocate for writing clearly and simply. I think that's the best for everybody all around, you know? People who are like, who speak English as a second language or have got like, you know, like reading processing differences like dyslexia, that like it's the best option for them, but it's also just the best option for everybody. It's like, I don't have any reading processing issues. I'm hyperlexic and I still struggle. So yeah, make of that what you will. Just write simply and clearly. It's good for everybody. It's like any kind of disability accommodation, you know, like ramps, for example. Like everyone's like, well, you know, ramps are good for people in a wheelchair. Like, yeah, but they're also good for me because I'm lazy and I don't want to go up the stairs. And they're also good for people with like mobility issues that like aren't bad enough to require assistance, but they are bad enough that it impacts their life, you know? It's the same kind of thing. There's a good amount of open source publishing available, but it's still in its infancy. It doesn't compare to high impact reputational journals or conferences, unfortunately. Yeah, there are some really, really good Diamond open access journals now, but you're completely right. They're still developing the reputation. And unfortunately, academia is very reputation orientated. Very, very, very much so. Very much so. We don't pay to publish, and our authors are always in alphabetical order. You can't tell who the principal author is. That's a good way to do it. That's a good way to do it. Yeah, psychology is still very much like the person at the beginning is the person who gets all the clout. So, yeah. Yeah. Doing great. I'm really, really glad, really cleaned. I'm glad. I'm glad. What is this? Theorem prover? What? You've lost me a bit there, Yoavko. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. So there's an ad running right now. So I'm actually gonna take this moment to quickly go fill up my water and reheat my tea if that's okay. Because yeah. My throat kind of hurts a little bit and I need more water. So I will be back in a few minutes when the ad is done, and I will see you then. See you in a minute. Hi, I'm back. Hello, hello. Okay. Look at me. I was so on time today. Are you proud of me? Are you proud of me? Tea, Yorkshire tea. You know what it actually is? It actually is Yorkshire tea, but it is decaf because I'm disappointing. So also because it's quite late and I don't want to be literally vibrating instead of sleeping. Yeah. Okay, right. So how much have we got this? Most of it, to be honest. This is going to be another one of those streams where I started reading the paper and then I didn't. Let's get down to here, I think. Let's do it. Let's power read. Let's power read. Hi, Andrew, how are you doing? Welcome in. Celebrating Mother's Day? That's fair. That's fair. I hope you had a lovely time with your mother. Okay. Right, so monitoring a value depends on evaluability. Monitoring a value depends on evaluability. Yes, that makes sense. In order to in order to monitor how valuable something is, you also need to be able to evaluate its value. That makes sense. Highly valuable attributes, such as the design of a new car, can be evaluated regardless of the context, whereas lower valuability attributes, such as the diversity of a car's service network, can be evaluated only in comparison with other options. Recent experiments using a speed accuracy trade-off task illustrate strong evaluability constraints. In a sequential investment game, participants' total payoff was the product of the average payoff, i.e. positive for correct choices and negative for incorrect choices between two investment funds, multiplied by the number of choices completed in a given time period. Increasing both the number of observations about the prior success of both funds, increased accuracy in choosing successful funds, but at the same time decreased speed, the number of completed choices. Because speed decreased at a higher rate than accuracy increased with the increasing sample size, a profitable strategy called for increasing speed and sacrificing accuracy, yet participants failed to exploit the speed advantage and therefore obtained much lower total payoff than possible. Because accuracy's greater value... Words. We're struggling today. Because... Where did we get to, actually? I've just lost my place. Yet participants failed to exploit the speed advantage and therefore obtained much lower total payoff than possible, because accuracy's greater evaluability induced dramatic overweighting effects of it. Correct or incorrect choices are easy to evaluate, but it's hard to evaluate strategies as either fast or slow. In any case, a variation in evaluability can render monitoring functions difficult and tricky. Difficult and tricky? True. Okay. So basically, there's a trade-off between accuracy and speed. That makes sense. And then when you're kind of like, when you're pressured to do it as fast or slow, it's more difficult, it sounds. So evaluating something as being correct or incorrect is easy. We can do that, no problem. Evaluating more kind of vague things, like whether something is fast or slow, is a bit difficult. Okay, cool. So I guess that's proposing that how easy something is to evaluate is, yeah, okay, there we go. This part I think is important. There we go. Cool. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have some tea. Okay. Monitoring and control functions can be mapped onto each other. Monitoring results provides instructions for control. Thus, when monitoring entails feedback about what choice in a binary task was correct, one might assume that control reduces to following the instruction inherent in the feedback. In fact, however, control is much more intricate. Imperative control instructions might not work. People cannot deliberately turn control functions on or off. At what point do we give up? You know what? Actually, maybe we should just give up on the paper for today. Just go back to yapping because I'm struggling to read, like really, really badly. What have we learned today? We've learned graph bad. That's the main thing that we need to take away, to be honest, from this paper is don't do your graphs like this. Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling to process this. I'm not gonna lie, I might actually read this paper properly off stream and then come back to it for once. 6.25 words per minute, it's definitely not that. Oh no. We spent so long trying to work out what this silly graph says. I hate it. I hate this graph with a passion. Okay. Let's put that away. We talk now. I give up. They've got me. I tried to do science and the science wouldn't happen. No. Yeah, so here's the plan. Here's the plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read that paper in my own time. I'm going to try and process what on earth it's saying. And then I'll come back and we'll try again. We'll try again. Third time lucky. Third time lucky. Because honestly, this paper, there is something about this paper that I am really, really struggling with. I am struggling to process it. This is one of those papers that you need to spend time properly focusing on. So, yeah. It's clearly saying just what it said in the title. That's the thing though, right? Is that I feel like they're just kind of bringing in a bunch of biases as examples, but like the core of what they've said, I think they've kind of already said it. So I'm not sure what else they're going to say. And like, I don't want to sit here and like spend half the stream just trying to process what they're saying. I feel like that's not a good like use of either of our time, if that makes sense. You know, I want to actually bring something valuable. The first part of the paper I feel like was pretty easy to process and we got through it pretty well. And then we got to that bit with the graph and then it's just destroyed my ability to understand what on earth is happening. Please don't use 3D bar charts. They are the bane of my existence. They upset me. Oh no. Terrible, terrible. Oh gosh. Yapdere, honestly, I need to just accept my fate as a yapper. I need to accept my fate as a yapper. I'm gonna change the title. Gave up on Journal Club. We're now yapping scientifically. Maybe I should change maybe I should also change the category because we're probably not sciencey enough for science and tech anymore. Oh no. Oh, that was painful. That was painful. You did 820 words, which is more than 0. I did 820 words overall out of the whole paper across 2 streams that were both 2.5 hours long. That's not very good, is it? Oh no. Uses 4D bar chart. The sheer concept of that is terrifying. Of all the numbers being represented as quaternions. No. 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 Please no. Oh, I can't think of anything worse. That's literally my nightmare. Literally my biggest nightmare. Can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. Oh dear. Oh dear. You're valid, thank you. It's just an animated 3D bar chart. It's fine. I want to make one. Please don't. I will actually cry. I will cry. I don't like it. I think the only thing the paper did outside of the title was describe monitoring and control functions the longest way possible. Yeah, honestly, right? I feel like the core concept in itself, like it would have been more interesting to kind of like dig into the concept a little bit more rather than looking at examples. Because I feel like they're trying to say something. They're trying to theory build by putting in information about various different cognitive biases and how they might link into this idea of metacognitive myopia. But at the same time, I feel like they're not doing it in a very... What's the word? They're not doing it in a very clear way. And it's been quite difficult to to process what on earth they're talking about. Because I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to say with these biases things. So yeah, I will try and read it again and I will bring it back another time. That's the plan. That's the plan. What's the most cursed graph possible? 3D diagram? 3D Venn diagram could be good. That would be absolutely terrible, but I would also love that. That would be very funny. Can you imagine, like, it would overlap on like 3 axes, right? Like X, Y, and Z. That would be something. That would be something. Oh no. Oh, I did 2,481 over the 3. 0 on the first. That's fair. We don't count that one though. 161. No, not 100. 1,661 on the second and 820 on the third. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. We should do more graphs using time as an axis. We have the technology. That is the thing. If you're doing time series analysis, you can do that. Yeah. Do you have a Discord? I do have a Discord, but it's not public yet. We're working on making it public. When I say working on making it public, I mean I keep meaning to install the, like, you know, raid protection bots, and then I keep forgetting. Yeah. We are working on it genuinely though. We tried this weekend. Yeah, we did actually. We did. We tried one of the raid protection bots this weekend and then it just didn't work. And we were like, huh? So we need to do a bit more digging. The thing that we were planning did not work. It was like, oh, it can't respond. Other stuff got in the way. Yeah, that's also true. That's also true. We've both been kind of busy with things. I've got a lot of things. A lot of things. So many life things. Oh, but one thing that is exciting. Wait, let me bring up my folder. I have only got less than 20 VODs to upload. There's only less than 20 VODs to upload, so the VODs channel is soon going to be genuinely actually in line. When I say soon, I mean don't expect this actually anytime soon, because I've scheduled it so that there's one going up a day. Because otherwise I thought it's just going to spam people's subscription feed, and that's not very helpful. So I've set it so that there's going to be one VOD coming out per day, and they are covering what's the next one coming out? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. That is the wrong channel. That is my main channel. That is not my VODs channel. Let's see. So currently I have so many scheduled videos. That's so funny. Currently, the next scheduled video that's coming out tomorrow is from the 9th of June, 2024. So there's definitely still a bit of a backlog, but basically there's going to be one a day. So it looks like it might be roughly caught up by the end of May. We might be roughly caught up by the end of May. Yeah, so that's exciting. That's exciting. We might finally be on time with the VODs channel. YouTube loves daily uploads, honestly, right? It might be like, yeah, great. But no, it won't be, because I've got terrible retention rate on them. Because I think basically people just skim through them and find the funny bits that they want, rather than actually watching the whole thing, which is fair enough. I do that with VODs too. But it means that I have very terrible retention rate on my videos. So yeah. I have, what is my average retention rate on the VODs channel? Let's find out. So retention is like how long people watch the video for. I have a 1% click-through rate. So 1% of people that see the video click on it. And then I have an average view duration of 1 minute 28. The highest it's ever been was 4 minutes. Bearing in mind these videos are like 3 hours long. So yeah, no. It's not going to pop off in the algorithm anytime soon, let's put it that way. Also, hi Red Panda, how you doing? I hope you're good. I hope you're good. Yeah, the 3D Venn diagram, it would be funny. It would be funny. With 2D bar charts inside? No, stop it. You're upsetting me. You're upsetting me. You're upsetting me. The graph was a thing of beauty. It was not. It was terrible. I hate it. 3D Venn diagram with different sizes sphere. The size of the sphere, the bigger the community. Oh my gosh. That would be something. That would be something. Stares at how you're setting up the safety portion of the Discord with a notebook. That sounds threatening, Bobo. That sounds threatening. You now have 124 subs. Thank you. Thank you. Someone made a coin for one of the AI research servers I'm in, and then the server immediately got raided when the coin became hot for the next day. No one knows who made it. Probably not someone who's actually doing stuff in the server. Oh no, that's terrible. That's terrible. That's like my worst nightmare. Please never make a Psydere coin. I don't want that. I actively do not want that. Worst nightmare. Well, ask yourself, how often do you watch VODs? I actually do watch them a fair bit, to be fair, because a lot of streamers that I want to watch are based elsewhere. So, for example, here is a very, very good example, actually. Wait. Wait. I need to make sure I get the username right. Yeah, okay. So, someone I know, someone I've been mutuals with for ages, right? Carbon. Let me give him a shout out. He's an astronaut VTuber, but he's also a physicist. He's a real life physicist. So he works on like physics stuff, rockets, things like that. He's done a collab with Z. And he is debuting tomorrow, I think. Yeah, tomorrow. He's debuting tomorrow, but it's at like 2 a.m. my time or something. So I'm always like watching his VODs and watching his clips instead of like watching his streams, because no offense, but I ain't staying up till 2 a.m. for a stream. No offense. But his content is so good. Go check him out. Give him a follow. Support his debut tomorrow. 100% go do that, because he is very, very funny, actually. Very, very funny. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. And if you like physics, he does some really cool educational stuff as well. So yeah, please go check out. But yeah. So I'm used to being a VOD watcher, because it's just like part of being European. Is that like so many content creators are based in like North America, and they just stream at a time where I cannot watch them. Like even a lot of V-Theorem stuff I have to watch it as a VOD, because I just can't be there live because it's at like midnight my time or something on a work day. So I've accepted it. I've accepted it. I've accepted it. It's fine. It's fine. They're raw data for you to get stuff out of, but half the fun of Twitch streams is the interactivity. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's why I tend to just kind of like skip through to the key moments. Yeah. Sorry, it's fine. It's fine. I'm used to it. I'm used to it. Yeah, I care more about sleep than stream. Exactly. Exactly. Like, I gotta be healthy, you know? I gotta be healthy. I'm struggling with that as it is. Oh no. I'm struggling enough with being healthy as it is. Oh dear. This is so sad. This is so sad. Let's see. I stand corrected on the first point. Yeah, I mean, it's, to be fair, I think it's a preference thing, right? I personally quite like watching stuff while I'm doing other things. So, yeah. I just enjoy VODs. I enjoy VODs. I'm a VOD enjoyer. Yeah. What should I have for dinner today? I have no idea. This is asking the big questions. Asking the big questions. Okay. Right. Let's see. Let's see. Healthy, good. This is so true. This is so true. It's why I've been trying to do a bit more exercise and trying to eat a bit better, because I've been extremely unhealthy throughout the whole of my PhD. And I want to change that. It's not great. It's not great. It's not great. It's terrible. VODs at 2 times speed is better for my brain. Honestly, I feel that so much. I feel that so much. Having food for dinner is a good idea. That's very true. No formaldehyde today. Not today. No formaldehyde today. Wild dinner suggestion, beans. Implying that wasn't going to be part of it anyway. Okay, actually, we got a free can of beans the other day, and it was very exciting because it was all dented when they delivered it. So I was like, can I give this back?
My beans!
Exactly. I was like, can I give this back? And they were like, you can, but you can also just have it for free, and we'll give you a refund. And I was like, nice, thank you. Thank you. But then because it was so horribly dented, like if you leave it like that, it can like foster bacteria. So I just instantly made like a bean dip out of it. Yeah. You know what else is terrible? Paper. True. True. Oh dear. My people, so true. Relatable. I'm also part of the club, to be honest. I'm like the founder of the club. What's a mindfulness activity anyway? That has reminded me, we did need to do that, didn't we? I will refund you. Let's do it next time. I'm not feeling particularly mindful today. I'm sorry. But basically, it's like a short activity that's like meant to ground you in the moment. That's basically what it is. Yeah. That's basically what it is. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. It is time. It is time. Hydrate. Thank you. Thank you for the hydrate. I appreciate it. Okay, so I think that it is time to wrap up there. And I think we should today go and raid into somebody who's playing Final Fantasy VIII. This seems like a good idea to me. Yes. Let's go. We're going to go raid into Fume. Where's the raid message? There it is. There's the raid message. If you're not a subscriber, oh, I can't spell. There we go. So that's that. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very, very hungry, hence the sudden wrap up. It was the beanstalk, you know, it was the beanstalk. But yeah, I don't know when I'll be streaming next again. I am not sure. I'm still doing a guerrilla schedule. I genuinely just don't really know at the minute. We'll see how I feel. I always say that, yeah, I know, but I like to remind people. We will do our best to get the Discord open as soon as possible, I swear. I promise. And I'm going to read the paper off stream and we will come back to it. That's the plan. So I will hopefully see you next time. Don't know what we'll do. Maybe we'll just go over the paper again. Maybe I'll try and read it before the next stream and then we can actually just talk about it. Like more in a traditional style journal club. That might be fun because I've never really done it. But yeah, don't know when it will be. Hopefully I'll see you then. Thank you so much for joining me and thank you for the hype train and the gifted subs and stuff like that. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, have a lovely evening. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.